Torchwood, Children of Earth, Day 1, the first episode of Series 3, is written by Russell T Davies and it's starring John Barrowman, Eve Miles, Gareth David Lloyd and Kai Owen. The season has shown on BBC One on consecutive weeknights in July 2009. Despite the move from BBC 3, the show was cut from a usual 13 episodes to 5, which made John Barrowman felt like being punished, which I can understand when suddenly things were cut short. So the filming took place at Cardiff and London through the week in August 2008. Tom Price also came back as Andy Davison, and we also have Peter Capaldi, who previously played Caecilius in Doctor Who episodes The Fires of Pompeii, and later played the 12th Doctor in this as John Frobisher, and Nick Briggs, who voices a lot of aliens in Doctor Who, especially the Daleks, and he's playing Rick Yates. Apparently Noel Clarke and Freema Agyeman were originally going to be in this as Mickey Smith and Martha Jones, but sadly they were busy with other things as Freema is busy working on Law and Order UK. But never mind, Russell T Davies introduced the character of Lois Babiba, played by Cush Jumbo, to be Martha-like character. Ian Gelder plays Decker, the head of MI5's technology division. I thought he gives off great performance. Gelder later played Zelin in Can You Hear Me? Nicholas Farrell plays Brian Greene, the Prime Minister of Great Britain. During the crisis of 456, he gives off great performance as well. So the episode begins with 1965. The children go off the bus and walk into the light, except one of them. Wonder what's happening here. So in the present day, while Gwen is getting the money out of the cash machine, she sees two children stopped like as though they're frozen. It also happened to Ianto's nephew and niece, Captain Jack's grandson and John Frobisher's daughters, and the whole kids at school holding Reese up in their truck. Apparently this is happening to all children on Earth. When I first saw this, I was like, what the hell is going on here? So Jack and Ianto went to the hospital and we introduced Rupesh Patangeli, played by Rick Makaram, and I think he's great. The character works for the A&E and the government after they fail to save the guy's life. Jack uses a laser to dissect the guy, which I had to look away from the scene because it was gross, but I think they took parts of the alien out of there. So after they set off, when they got told that the bodies go missing, they went back to the hub and researched kids on Earth, why they acted funny. Lois is the new member of Home Office, and I think Cush Jumbo is great as well. So the Torchwood sees the girl who stopped, as all the children did. And it was terrifying that they're screaming and repeatedly saying, we are coming, we are coming. This is scary shit. So after that scary moment, Jack said he needed a child so they can solve the problem. So Jack visits Alice Carter, who turns out to be Captain Jack's daughter, which is mind-blowing. And she has a son, Stephen Carter. I think Lucy Coe and Bear Corsland did a great job with their role. And yeah, Alice wanted Jack to stay away as he's dangerous. Meanwhile, Gwen visits to an old man called Clement MacDonald at the hospital who suffered the same thing that children have. Paul Coppolet's betrayal is well done.
But they're coming back. I've been smelling them for months.
Ianto visits his sister, Rhiannon Davis, and he's opened to her about being gay and falling in love with Jack, which is a nice moment, and told her not to tell anyone.
If you want to keep quiet, I swear I won't say a word, I promise.
Aye, gay boy. She says you're taking it up your ass.
Katie Wicks and Rhodri Lewis are great as well. Johnny is the character you'd love to hit and laugh at the same time. Plus the moment where someone stolen Ianto's vehicle and Johnny decided to throw bricks at it, I was like, what the hell's he doing? So Jack returns to the hospital and Rupesh shot Jack to death.
No sign of trauma to the skin apart from bruising, but that's...
And then Agent Johnson arrived with her soldiers. She shot Jack to death after when he came back to life, only for a couple of seconds, dissected Jack and placed a bomb in him. And then she shot Rupesh and placed his body next to Jack. So Jack doesn't know it was him. Plus Liz May Bruce is fantastic in this series because as a character she's dark and terrifying. She should win an Oscar for this. But after Jack came back to life, he returns to the hub again, finding out that Gwen is pregnant and he has a bomb inside him. So he gets Gwen and Yanto out of there as the bomb explodes. The Torchwood hub is destroyed, which is sad to see it go. Which happened the same time as kids saying we are coming back. My god, this looks like shit is going down. This episode feels real. It looks real, the way it's written and acted. Peter Capaldi's acting when he said stop it towards the end is well done.
We are coming. Stop it! Stop we are coming. Stop it!
The music by Ben Foster is absolutely fantastic. What did you guys think of Children of Earth Day 1? Torchwood Children of Earth Day 2, the second episode of Series 3, is written by John Fay and it's starring John Barrowman, Eve Miles, Gareth David Lloyd and Kai Owen. So yeah, the hub gets blown up, not good like, so the paramedics drags Gwen away from the destroyed hub into the ambulance and they're working for the government as well. This scene is brutal. I love how Gwen beats the shit out of paramedics, like hitting them in the face with a fire extinguisher. I was like, yeah, go on Gwen! The gunshot sounded like something you'd hear in Lego Batman game, which is awesome. When they kept trying to shoot Gwen and Yanto, it was pretty intense. So while Johnson gets Andy to find where Gwen lives, Gwen gets Reese out of the bed and to get away, and I just love it when she shoots the tyres and Andy is like, what kind of terrorist shoots your wheels?
She shot the wheels? What kind of terrorist shoots you wheels?
A clever one.
So the soldiers broke into Davis's house to search for Yanto. The scene where they pointed guns at Johnny Davis, who's lying naked on bed, is hilarious. And yeah, the kids must be traumatized. Think how it would feel if you're lying in bed and the armed police broke in and pointed guns at you. Oh god. So while Gwen and Yanto are on the run and John Frobisher saying goodbye to his family, the fireman has found an arm, as it would be Jack, as he's eventually regrow his limbs and building himself back up like Wolverine and Deadpool. So Johnson and her soldiers took parts of Jack in the bag into the cell. As they sipped it open, we see burnt skeleton of Captain Jack, which is gross. I was like, what? So while Lois sees builders building something, Gwen and Reese climbs inside a lorry full of raw potatoes. So Johnny and people from the street shook the surveillance car to distract the soldiers, while Rhiannon sneaks to the car with her laptop to meet Yanto at the park. The bit where Jack is red like Hellboy and screaming was like, holy shit.
You'd have been better off staying dead.
That must be extremely painful. Don't think I could take that if that happened to me. I bet that's worse than sunburnt. Oof. The scary moment is where kids and Clement kept saying we are coming tomorrow, so Gwen ended up phoning Lois and met up in the cafe, which makes me hungry for Chippy. Because they needed someone to trust, which I can't say I blame them. I thought it was amusing when Gwen and Reese got the guy half naked and tied up into the coffin and left him in the country lane. So they drove to the cell block as they knocked one of the soldier out. They kept open the cell only to find room full of concrete, because Jack got buried alive, again but full of cement this time. So while Gwen and Reese gets chased by Johnson and her soldiers, Yanto uses GCB to remove Jack's cell. I thought the music in this scene is pretty fantastic. Kind of brutal when Gwen shot the tanker and exploded near Johnson, so Yanto drops the block of concrete down the cliffs. Jack is back to life again, covered in dried cement and completely naked. It's funny when Gwen gave Jack her coat so he can cover his area, but Jack decided to hang it over his shoulder as he walks towards the car. So the government built a tank full of blue smoke, which leads to cliffhanger. Oh my god, this is really intense. I really love this episode. This is my favourite Children of Earth episode because it's really suspense. The music again is fantastic, especially the bit where Ianto was about to drop a block of concrete down the cliff. The casts again are spectacular. What did you guys think of Children of Earth 2? Feel free to let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Torchwood Children of Earth Day 3, the third episode of Series 3. It's written by Russell T Davies and James Moran, and it's starring John Barrowman, Eve Miles, Gareth David Lloyd and Kai Owen. So the Torchwood team found a warehouse to take a base, which is a nice place to have a new base. It's still a shame that the base is destroyed though. Jack obviously complains that he's wearing a tracksuit, saying it's not a good look. Well, it's a good pants to wear when you go for a jog, and also when you, while having a lazy day. Michelle Cole as Trinity Wells is in this episode, which is fantastic, as she appeared in both Doctor Who and the Sarah Jane Adventures. And so is Anthony DeBarkle as the French newsreader, as he first appears in an episode of Doctor Who, Army of Ghosts. Funny thing is, Gwen Cooper was used to be a police, but now her and the Torchwood gang going around nicking people's credit card, bag and car. And yeah, I don't think Andy Davison's going to be too happy about this, if he finds out. But he doesn't, so that's alright. So Ianto brought everyone some clothes and Jack is back in his iconic outfit, which is nice.
I'm back.
So after Clement MacDonald nicked women's purse, he goes to the same pub he went in where he annoyed the barmaid by keep on saying "we are coming tomorrow." Because the barmaid thinks he's mental, she summoned the police who arrested him and took him away. So Gwen begs Lois to help by using those contact lenses to see what John Frobisher is up to. But sadly she refused as she's understandably scared. We also get a line that the beans are almost done.
I'll go later, the beans are almost done.
The beans are almost done. Bloody beans.
Yeah, random, I know. Jack sees the three people from the army that he knew on the computer screen. This is intense. So in the end, Lois decides to put the lens on and goes with Bridget and John. So while Andy helps Gwen to get Clement out of the cell, Alice takes Stephen and tries to get away from Johnson and her soldiers, but sadly they were captured. But we get a scary scene where all the kids and Clement pointing at the sky as the alien, called the 456, has arrived and appeared inside a tank, which I thought is pretty cool and scary. Alien race that negotiated secretly with the British government in 1965 and the present day. They possessed children as a communicator. They later revealed they were drug addicts. The 456 used children as the hit because the bodily chemicals they create felt good, which is really disturbing when you think about it. Jesus. So John Frobisher has a conversation with 456 as it splattered slime at the glass.
You call us 456.
That's correct.
Then that is our name.
The unit is in this episode. Yes, nice to have classic Doctor Who Easter eggs in this. So Jack stole John's wife's phone to speak to John. This is so weird. You'd be thinking that Captain Jack is talking to the 12th Doctor, but Peter Capaldi has played 3 different roles in the same universe, and he's a fantastic actor. So Jack got angry when he found out that his daughter and grandson were abducted. I found it a bit funny when Gwen accidentally typed in saying "need his moth," and the way Reese read it.
Of Vatican City.
Need his moth.
Shut up.
From the Russian Federation and Associate.
But she meant to say "need his mouth." John Frobisher demands the alien not to use kids as a communicator, but it demands a gift of 10% of the children on Earth. Scary stuff.
And who's the queer?
Oi!
It's not 1965 anymore.
You tell him, Ianto. The crazy thing is, Clemens has got a flashback from 1965, and apparently it was Jack who sent the kids into the light as a gift. Oh my god, I wonder if that means that Captain Jack is a bad guy. I wonder how the Doctor would react to that.
I gave them 12 children.
What?
As a gift.
Colin McFarlane plays General Austin Pierce, who works with the US Army, then later joined UNIT. I really like that character. It's so cool that he got to return in another spin-off, The War Between the Land and the Sea, 16 years later. So yeah, Children of Earth 3, another fantastic episode, great performance, writing, music and everything. What do you guys think of Children of Earth 3? Let me know by dropping the comments down below. And I'm excited to talk about Day 4. Torchwood, Children of Earth, the 4th episode of Series 3, is written by John Fay and it's starring John Barrowman, Eve Miles, Gareth David Lloyd and Kai Owen. So yeah, in 1965, Captain Jack decided to send 12 kids into the light because 456 wanted them, but one of them escaped, which is Clement MacDonald. So in the present day, Clement MacDonald shot and killed Captain Jack.
Okay, so...
But then came back to life. At least Clement doesn't have to feel haunted about it because he hasn't killed anyone, so Jack is, still alive. So while Johnson locked Stephen up and wanting Alice, the 456 is allowing someone to go inside. So the guy went inside it and holy shit, we have a terrifying reveal. It's a mutated looking child. It's like something you'd see in a horror movie. Ugh! And they're 10% children.
No.
So after a while, Jack phones John hoping to let his family go, but sadly they wouldn't. And yeah, Nick Briggs makes his on-screen appearance in person, not voicing anything for a change. He's great, Nick Briggs. We all love him. We get a scary moment where kids saying random numbers, which is the number of population of children in countries. So while the meeting about kids going on, we get a nice music when Jack and Yanto in the car with the news reporter chatting away. I think Yanto deliberately phoned his sister to get his phone traced, so Gwen got Lois to reveal that she's helping the Torchwood in the meeting.
You and whose army?
Torchwood.
What?
So Johnson and her soldiers broke into the warehouse, so Gwen got her to watch a computer screen before getting shot. Jack and Yanto confronts 456, telling it everything has been recorded and that it's not having any more kids and requesting a war. But sadly he didn't thought through. The virus has been released and killing everyone in the building. The scene Clement dying with the blood coming out of him is horrible to sit through. I felt really sick watching that. The scene that hit me hard was Yanto's death. I was like, no, why? Why? I already knew he was going to die in this long before I watched this episode, as my mum told me back when I was a kid, at the time where I wasn't allowed to watch Torchwood. I think Gareth David Lloyd first found out about Yanto getting killed off when his agent said he was only needed for the first 4 episodes. Damn, this is so upsetting. And Jack dies again by the virus.
You will die.
So we cut to the meeting talking about kids and Gwen seeing Jack coming back to life again, but a quiet breathe this time, and crying over Yanto's corpse. Man, this is so emotional. Yep, Torchwood, Children of Earth, Day 4. What did you guys think of this episode? Did Yanto's death make you cry? Drop the comments down below. As always, Torchwood, Children of Earth, Day 5, the 5th episode of Series 3, is written by Russell T Davies and is starring John Barrowman, Eve Miles and Kai Owen. We're on to the final one now. Oh boy. Oh boy. So this episode starts off with Gwen talking to the camera, wondering why the Doctor wouldn't turn up, but then she realises why, which we'll get to later. Apparently kids needed to attend school for injections, but Rhiannon Davis and John Frobisher wanted their kids to stay at home, which is understandable. So while Brian Greene at the meeting discussing about taking kids from school, and Colonel Odier has a conversation with 456, Captain Jack and Gwen sits with John Frobisher and Bridget Spears, to see what the crack is. Apparently Lois is in jail for espionage, and Jack and his team are defeated, so they let Gwen tell Ianto's family what happened to Ianto and took Jack into the cell. Lois calls Jack for help, but sadly there's nothing he can do about it. We get a horrible scene where Brian Greene tells John Frobisher that he needs to take 2 of John's daughters for 456. My God, what a bastard!
You can't make me!
In which case, your children will be taken without you.
So John asked Bridget to get requisition 31. We get a sad moment with Ben Foster's brilliant score. In the scene where Bridget tells Lois how she met John Frobisher and what a good man he was. And one thing I did not expect, it was a gun that John was given, and he sent his wife and 2 daughters into a bedroom and shot them and himself. Oh my God, that's fucked up. Oh, that is so emotional. So while the soldiers are taking kids from school, Gwen and Andy tells Rhiannon that Ianto dies. Obviously she didn't take it too well. I love the scene where Stephen is playing football with the soldiers. I think this is nice. But we get this moment as Gwen, Reese and Rhiannon sneaking kids to the old warehouse. We get awesome scene where Johnny, Andy and the people from the street wrestling the soldiers in the street. I was like, yeah! That's where Gwen mentions the Doctor and understand the reasons why he can't be on Earth all the time.
Sometimes the Doctor must look at this planet and turn away in shame.
So while Jack is working to defeat 456, there's someone outside that's been at grass and told the soldiers where Gwen, Reese and Rhiannon were hiding with the kids. So the chase is on. So Jack needed his grandson to defeat 456. While all the kids are screaming, Stephen has a nosebleed like 11 from Stranger Things every time she uses her powers. The bit where 456 is sent back in space is a cool scene. But my God, Captain Jack's grandson dies. Oh man, I can't say how sad that is. This is rough. I can't believe 3 kids die in this episode, John Frobisher's daughters and Captain Jack's grandson. The fact that it's the same universe as the Sarah Jane Adventures is so bizarre. Well, that's childhood ruined. Plus I agree with Ace Creeper about having one of those kids as the Doctor's future companion. That would be awesome. Turns out Bridget was using those contact lenses to expose Brian Greene as he's being dismissed. Nice. So Alice understandably couldn't speak to Jack. I wonder if she wants revenge or something. So Gwen and Reese met up with Jack 6 months later, giving him Vortex Manipulator. He felt pretty guilty for the death of Susie, Owen, Tosh, Ianto and Stephen, which is a very sad moment. So he teleports away, which leads him to the spacebar that we see in Doctor Who The End of Time Part 2. So, that's Children of Earth Day 5. Oh my God, that is a fantastic season. It actually feels more like a Torchwood movie than a series. It's also the most darkest thing ever in the Doctor Who universe as of time recording. The casts are amazing, it's well written, and the music by Ben Foster is outstanding throughout this series. What did you guys think of Children of Earth 5 and the series? Drop your thoughts on the comment down below. Did it make you cry? I felt crying when I first watched it. As always, thanks for watching and see you in the next video.